Yo, what's up? Hey, yeah, I'm ZX18 Sports here. And I wish I could say we're back with another Miami Heat highlight and review. But unfortunately, that won't happen until August, September, maybe? Preseason? Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, man, today there's no highlights, no nothing. It's just like a reflection of the Miami Heat. I'm gonna do this for all three of my teams, the Miami Heat, the Philadelphia Eagles, and Arsenal. I wish I did them earlier, but you know what? Better late than never. Fishing now we're in the summer where it's like not really anything's really going on. Well, I guess for Arsenal, I guess maybe like the transfer market, but well that starts officially tomorrow, so maybe maybe then they'll sign Declan Rice. Who knows? That'd be my real like breaking news. I should sign Declan Rice. But nah, man. But today is will be nothing about the Miami Heat. How we're just gonna reflect on the season they had, the ups and downs, the what could have been, what could have happened, what's gonna happen, what could have been, how the season planned out, and what they can do for next season. All right, man, let's get to it. So the Miami Heat, like to start this off, to start this like reflection, we have to start back from actually last year, where they were the number one seed. They had this momentum going. Like everything was going right for Miami. Well, for at least for the most part last season or like the season before. Unfortunately, I mean they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, but unfortunately they ran into a Boston Celtics team that were honestly caught caught lightning. Oh no, I can't say that's disrespectful. Like they caught like fire midway through the season, and well, and it was a collision course for both teams, but unfortunately the Boston Celtics pulled through in Game Seven and they eliminated the Miami Heat. And after that, now we're going to that summer where honestly, Pat Riley's biggest mistake. Well, at least for this season, where he did nothing. That's right. He did not sign nobody, or at least nobody in free agency. It was like, oh, we're gonna bring back the same core, but minus PJ Tucker, who honestly, like even though he was limited offensively, but defensively he helped this squad out. And honestly, we miss PJ Tucker's defense, especially in the finals. That would at least that would have lessened the blow just a little bit. Oh man! And by the way, I got this, man. It's honestly pretty good to ease the pain. About to open this shit up now and just drink, man. Just like Oh my god. This is what I have for having short nails. There we go. Uh yeah. So Pat Riley that summer did not sign no free agency. He let PJ Tucker go. I understand that Miami Heat's contracts were there wasn't really much in the room for PJ Tucker because he wanted to get that payday, but we didn't like they didn't sign nobody, man. Especially at the power forward position where or at least power forward or center position where the lack of size really was the biggest issue throughout the season, and it rears ugly head in the finals because there was nobody who can at least like nobody's gonna contain Jokic, but at least grab the boards. Honestly, that's the reason why they won Game Five. Just they for the most part they grabbed most of the rebounds. But yeah, man, it's just that was a mistake. In the draft, I mean, yes, we have Nikola Jovic, but here's the thing: he's a rookie. I who expected him to play more than like 5 minutes? Nobody. So yeah, so obviously going to the season, it was like I thought that he would at least be in the third or fourth seed at best. There are some people out there projecting them to be like a 7 or 8 seed. I couldn't believe. I was like, nah, there's no way. But you know what? They saw something I didn't, and I should have seen it coming. But yeah, throughout the regular season, the Miami Heat was just mediocre, man. There was a few good wins here and there. To their credit, they won most of the close games. But well, actually, I can't even say them. At least half of the close games. But it was more like, guys, you've seen it. Most of the games were not comfortable at all, man. I'm just like, maybe there was like maybe like 5, 6, maybe, because we didn't. They didn't have size. Like they only have Bam Adebayo for size, and guys, he's 6'9", and he's our center. I mean, with shoes on, he's 6'10", but you can just tell there's just a big hole there, and just and it was just so mediocre. Like the offense was for the most part. The Heat's offense was so putrid. Like they relied so much on three ball, but unlike like the year before, where they were like top three and three threes made, they were like in the bottom. I think like bottom three, I believe. Their offense was so bad, man. It was just nothing. There was barely any ball movement. Defensively, I thought they were good. I mean, that's what Miami are. They're always a good defensive team, but it's the offense that was really an issue this season. And not only that, because rebounding I think if I have to guess, I think rebounding they're like bottom five as well. They didn't have and like I said, they didn't have no size. For like the first half of the season, they started Caleb Martin as their power forward. Like, and no disrespect to Caleb Martin. I do like Caleb Martin. Like, but he's not a power forward. He's a small forward. And there are times I feel like maybe he's more of a shooting guard, but I'll at least give him a small forward. But yeah, it's just we're running small, but the only problem with running small is like you're giving up a lot of rebounds, and if you can't shoot, oh boy, it's just a re, recipe for disaster. It it was just a frustrating season throughout, and the fact that by the time we got to the All Star weekend and the trading deadline, I really thought that Miami will at least pull something, like anybody. Instead, none, nothing. Another Pat Riley mistake. To his credit, though, he did went for the buyout market. He got Cody Zeller and Kevin Love. Cody Zeller, I mean, it is what it is. It's just a depth piece, but in my opinion, he should not be our backup center next season. Or if he is, he should be like a third string because oh boy, defensively he got cooked, and offensively he's just not that player. Let's be real. And but I did like the Kevin Love signing though. That one was I did like it, but at the same time, if Kevin Love was in his prime, it would have been great. But he's not. He's what 35. Like he's still a good shooter, but that's basically it at this moment. But to his credit, though, he did hustle a lot in defense. To his credit, but yeah, man, it wasn't looking bright, especially. And now we get to the end of the season where the Miami finished at the seventh seed, so they qualified for the play-in. But yeah, man. But like I said, that whole regular season was just a mess, man. At least offensively, especially in the third quarter. Holy crap. That actually reared its ugly head in the finals as well. Every third quarter besides game 2 of the NBA final was just a fucking mess. And you know what? Shout out to Heat Nation on Twitter. He's the one who who phrased the third quarter as the third quarter. Because man, every time, like guys, I kid you not, every time the Miami are in the third quarter, I'm like, I pray for a good quarter because, or at least a decent quarter, because for the most part, it's like, oh well, Miami will score 25, 30 points in the first two quarters. Maybe in the fourth quarter they might score like 40, but third quarter, oh, they scored 10 points. Just like, uh, it's like, man, like there's no consistency on the offense at all. But now we get to the playoffs. The first playing game, honestly, guys, that one, you can watch my reaction to that game. It was the worst game I've seen from Miami, and that's saying something because that team should, even now they should not have lost to the Hawks. It, even looking back, I'm like, is this the same team that went to the finals? Because if you watch that game or watch that highlights, bro, that game was so bad, man. Like uncharacteristic lapses in defense and also the shooting. Oh my god, the offense was so putrid that game. And so I was actually getting worried that like man, the Miami they they were the first team to the first 7 seed to lose to an 8 seed. Yeah. So I was nervous. Now at best they can go to the 8 seed, and I'm like, oh man. So even if they beat the Bulls, they have to face Milwaukee. And to the Miami Heat's credit, man, they were actually down in that game as well against the Bulls, but they pulled through at the end and win. But I'm not gonna lie, I did not give Miami Heat too much chances against the Bucks, only because I still remember the sweep they did against this team, and that it was really, it was not even a contest. Besides like game one of that year, it wasn't even close. So I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be a tough one. But to Miami Heat's credit, and also to Eric Spoelstra and Jimmy Butler, man, they outcoach Budenholzer, and yeah, man, it was just I honestly even now I'm still stunned, especially like game four. Like holy crap, that has to be one of the best games Miami ever played. Actually, it's the best series Miami ever had because they were like this team went from can't even make like 30% threes to like making like 50 or 60% from threes. I'm like, what the fuck? Like even now I'm just like, what happened? The legit Miami pulled a Uno reverse. Like I couldn't believe it. But yeah, man, but Miami like beat the number one seed in 5 games, man. I couldn't I even now I'm stunned. That was a stunning series for me. And honestly, I'm like, yo, if they can beat this Bucks team in 5, they have a chance to go through. Especially like in the next round they play against the New York Knicks. And I was a little bit worried because, the lack of size. But this is where like experience came in as the Knicks had no like yeah, there I forgot who their center is. He had no answer for Bam. Bam, honestly, that was his series, bro. Especially after Jimmy Butler went out with an injury for one game, but but even with that, even to the Heat's credit, man, for the most part, they actually out rebounded the Knicks, which is crazy because, like I said, they had more size than Miami. But although I do have to shout out to Jalen Brunson, man, he's the only reason why that they went to 6 games. But yeah, man. But then after that, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals where a familiar foe, the Boston Celtics. And then no joke, it was everything was like, great. The first 3 games, they beat the Boston Celtics for the first 3 games. I'm like, oh man. This either might be. I thought the series was gonna be over in 5 at best, but nah. To the Boston Celtics credit, man, they did not give up. They fought. They won 3 straight after that. And I'm not gonna lie, when Derek White made that freaking buzzer beater shot to send it to Game 7, eh, I was really getting scared, but I'm not gonna lie. But to Miami's credit, man, in Game 7, they just completely shut down the Boston Celtics. And yes, I know Jason Tatum suffered that ankle injury, and it sucks that that happened, but it's part of the game, man. Unfortunately, hell, to and hell, look at the Miami Heat, man. Jimmy suffered an ankle injury the series before. They lost Tyler Hero, who honestly, it would have helped Miami out if he was in most of these playoffs, especially the finals. But it is what it is, man. But yeah, the Miami were Eastern Conference champions, and I'm like, oh, bro, and I was like, and I was rooting. I'm not gonna lie, I was rooting for the Lakers a lot because I'm like, I rather Miami play the Lakers instead of the Nuggets because recent history is not great, at least against the Nuggets. But nah, Nuggets sweep the Lakers, and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be a challenge, and unfortunately, I was proven right. But to his credit, man, they were the first team to actually beat the Nuggets in Denver, which a great accomplishment. But unfortunately, just that was the only noteworthy thing that Miami Heat did in the finals, as it was a gentleman's sweep. This the sale was over last night. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still like disappointed in that, especially in Game 5 where the Nuggets did not play well at all. But unfortunately, Miami had an even worse offensive game, and unfortunately, a lot of things that happened in the regular season kind of came back and bit Miami in the ass because also Miami's number one weakness, size. I get it, Jokic is pretty much unguardable, but there besides Bam, there was nobody else that can at least challenge like like maybe like double teaming with another big, but because as like Kevin Love, like are you telling me that Kevin Love's gonna guard Jokic? No, and Jamal Murray as well. He had a great series. It was just unfortunate, man. It really was. Like I truly believe had just if Miami just made just a little bit more shots in Game 5, we'll be. I would not be making this video until maybe after the season. Maybe it'll be more of a celebratory video, but instead it's more like a sad reflection of the season. But yeah, man. Unfortunately, the Miami Heat lost the NBA Finals. That's now 2 years. That's now 0-2 in the Jimmy Butler era, which sucks. Well, I can't say I was there, but I did watch that 2020 final bubble run where they just ran it. It's just unfortunate, man. They ran into a LeBron-led Lakers where they were just very good. Honestly, I think that's like LeBron James' best Lakers team so far. And then for this year, they ran into Jokic, who is now in his prime, and a healthy Jamal Murray. It was just, Miami did not have the firepower to match them. But you know what, man? To the ups and downs, I do have to give this team credit. They were the A seed. They did lose Tyler Hero in the first round, and not only that, they beat the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, the Milwaukee Bucks. They outdueled the New York Knicks with their big lineup that a lot of people thought they were giving a challenge, myself included, but they took care of business. A lot of people thought that he were going to fold in Game 7, but instead it was the Boston Celtics that were folded. It was just unfortunate that this Cinderella run has to come to an sadly and I feel like this is gonna be like a footnote now because I truly believe that Miami were gonna win the finals, man. I really thought. Thank God I'm not a betting man. But now, where does the Miami Heat go from here? Well, a lot of things. Pat Riley cannot do the same mistake he did last offseason. He has to make moves because honestly, this run kind of saved Pat Riley's ass this year because there was no excuse. Like he could have at least signed a couple veterans, like anybody, but instead he did nothing. I mean, yeah, he went for the bio market. To his credit, he got Kevin Love, but that was our only. Well, besides the rookie Nikola Jovic, that was only like Miami's like major acquisition, which is crazy. But yeah, he cannot make the same. He needs to sign. In my opinion, he needs to sign a stretch big, maybe Brook Lopez. I would like to see Brook Lopez in there, just for size and spacing, alongside Bam. And then a lot of people want Damian Lillard, but uh, I don't think that's gonna work. Uh, Maybe you never know. If Miami give like a Trailblazers something, then they might pull the trigger on it. But they definitely need a point guard. Kyle Lowry's getting up there in age, and we've proven he's not the same guy. But I would like to see him on the bench because this is no disrespect to Gabe Vincent, but that finals proved that Gabe Vincent is just not there yet. Or maybe that's probably the peak of what we're gonna see from Gabe Vincent. They definitely need more like forward. Maybe Caleb Mark can still be there. I don't know. They definitely need better. They need like a backup shooting guard as well. This team needs a few things because I guarantee you that if this won't happen again, because now the East are just gonna get stronger from here. Like the Bucks are gonna have a new Bucks have a new head coach now. Who knows, gonna be different. The Boston Celtics they're gonna be where they are. Maybe they might trade away Jalen Brown, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, the Miami they need to make moves. They cannot afford to not make nothing this season because, like I said, everybody's getting older. Jimmy Butler's getting like now he's going to his mid-30s. Like he's still an effective player, but he's not getting any younger. He probably has maybe two good seasons left in him until he's you know maybe retires. But yeah, man, it's just all I ask is like Pat Riley, come on, man, give Jimmy a ring. The dude deserves it. He got close twice, so still work around him. But like I said, for next season, all I ask is just bring in like a couple of big men who can shoot. Doesn't have to be a setter; it could be a power forward as well. And just at least make some move, man. Just make some moves. That's all I ask for Pat Riley. Make some good logical moves. As for the as for the players themselves, Gabe Vincent, I want you to look at film and be more consistent with your shooting. Bam, I want you to develop a 3-point shot, man. This is time. It's. I feel like this is now that you should really start developing your 3-point shot. Your mid range is good, but now it's time for you to develop a 3-point shot. Jimmy, honestly, just like be the same. All I ask is be more aggressive next season. Duncan Robinson, I don't know if he can be there next season, but all I ask for you to Continue developing your drive and be more consistent on your shots. Max Strus, same way, just be more consistent, please. On the bench or as a starter. Kyle Lowry, work on your conditioning, work on, I know you're getting older, so I understand that, but try to contribute more. But yeah, man, that's all I ask for the Miami Heat, man. But what a season's been. It's just been crazy. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me. I've reflected long enough. I'm finally I'm a little bit over it now, but I'm just like, what a fun ride it's been. All right, guys. That's it for me. Like and subscribe below. And don't worry, tomorrow I will do you know what? Let me do Arsenal because that one's still fresh in my mind as well. Tomorrow will be like an Arsenal reflection video. And yeah, man, I'll see you next time. Peace.